Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Key of Threes here on this fine Friday night. We got some great NBA matchups ahead of us tonight. Of course, Houston Denver is the headline of the matchup tonight, which we'll probably end up talking about next Tuesday. But tonight, we got another last few days of NBA basketball to talk about. A lot of trade rumors in the last few days, and that's going to be our main focus tonight. Jay, how are we feeling going into some of this discussion tonight, going into the last fun week of the NBA season and some of the trades we're going to be discussing?
Oh man, it's over the last week. It's been a lot of trade talks, a lot of stars around the league that are either not happy with their situation, or maybe it's their organization that's not happy with their star player. But it's a lot to get into today, Devin. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped.
Me too, man. Me too. It's going to be good stuff. John, how we doing?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. It's Friday. We alive. I'm here talking hoops with my brother, man. Come on. I can't ask for more, man. God is good. God is good. How you do? How you doing, Devin?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Like you said, Friday, we're talking hoops. The Raptors are still winning. Now, tonight's like the
Second
scheduled.
seed, second seed in the East, Dev.
We are, man. We are. We're looking good. But, tonight's the scheduled trap game at home against the Wizards. So let's hope we don't screw it up against them. But nonetheless, not a Raptors time right now, although they have been cooking. We're going to start with the most recent and most notable trade rumor that we have seen come out over the last couple of days, and that is LaMelo Ball seemingly wanting out of Charlotte. Now, it looked like it was pretty much refuted right away, but of course, unless this guy's asking out, he's not exactly going to say, oh, yeah, I want out, of course. So you always got to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But Jay, I know you've been saying a lot and defending a lot of LaMelo Ball on the pod over the last couple of weeks. You've been very high on his shooting touch, but a little bit skeptical of how everything is meshing right now in Charlotte. So I want to hear your thoughts on what you think LaMelo's future could be in or out of Charlotte.
All right, so I'm gonna be honest. I feel coming into this year, I thought this Charlotte Hornets roster was probably the best constructed roster since the year that they made it to the play-in. And the first few games of the year, I was excited. I saw some real promise. I saw maybe a playoff team. But once LaMelo got injured with the once again ankles, I don't know if it's something that's like he's gonna have to deal with for the rest of his career, or he just refuses to wear ankle braces. Whatever it is, he's once again dealing with ankle injuries. That seemed to set him back, and not only in terms of it set him back in terms of his play, because the last few games he's been shooting awful. And I tried to, you guys know, I am the honorary LaMelo Ball glazer, bro. I love LaMelo. That's my dog. I rock with the Charlotte Hornets, bro. But he has looked awful, which led me to feel like maybe the Hornets should explore other options outside of LaMelo Ball, because there is some real promise in that kid, Concaniple. Concaniple is not only a lights out shooter, but we seen that he can actually put the ball on the floor, create shots not only for himself but his teammates as well. Once the news came out, the report came out that LaMelo Ball, there's a chance that he's open to be traded from the Hornets. I was kind of hyped. From the direction that the Hornets could potentially go in, but with that being said, what are you really going to get better talent than a LaMelo Ball in that point guard spot? I mean, I don't really see the options out there for real. But in terms of LaMelo Ball finding a new destination, a team that I think was a very good fit for him, Dev, I don't know how you feel about him coming to the Six, man, but LaMelo for Emmanuel Quickly and Grady Dick. Talk to me. What you think?
It's interesting because I had a feeling this was going to get brought up, because the Raptors are one of the few teams that, don't either have a high-level starter at point guard or don't have a young guy that they're probably looking to develop. So it is a logical fit compared to a lot of other teams across the league. I guess one of the issues being is we don't have a ton of great defenders, especially in our starting lineup outside of Scotty Barnes, yet we want to have a defensive identity. So if you bring in a guy in LaMelo who's not exactly a great defender, how does that impact things? Now, of course, like you're saying, the replacement would be Quickly. Hasn't exactly been an amazing defender either, but probably a little bit better than LaMelo, just a little bit more undersized. It's an option, certainly. I think, especially in the Eastern Conference right now, as open as it is, if anyone's willing to make a big move, it's probably the year to do it if you think you're relatively competitive. So I think it's something that they could consider. I don't think at this point it's overly likely that they would make such a move, but I would have said the same thing before DeRozan got traded for Kawhi. So I'm never really willing to rule out a surprise from the Raptors front office, but I wouldn't certainly expect at this point LaMelo to get moved. But if he can't have that elite shooting touch you claim he can't have, we certainly need it. We certainly need it, man.
Wait, Dev, I have a question. You guys trade for LaMelo. Do you think that puts you in the category of a Cavaliers, of a Knicks, of a Detroit Pistons, and that type of stature?
It's certainly possible. I think if you don't have to give up a ton of depth in it, if it can be IQ, maybe a bench piece, and then you're dealing with picks from there. Now, I think the money would get a little bit dicey because we don't have a ton of guys we're really paying on our bench. So that would be the main concern. But if we can keep our depth, you can have BI, LaMelo, and Scotty Barnes as a trio. On paper, at least, that's going to be pretty good with their surrounding pieces. I mean, if RJ sticks through, it's a lot of length. Now, not all of them great defensively, but at least a lot of length to have that's going to be disruptive, and he'd certainly improve your three-point shooting. The question then is, as it always is with LaMelo, is he actually on the floor for that on paper quality trio to actually be successful? That's, of course, the thing you're going to have to run into, and that would be the main holding point, I would imagine. Any potential LaMelo trade to Toronto would be the holdup, as it probably would be anywhere. But I think if he actually could be healthy, are they quite at that level? Probably not, but I think they're right next to them.
Man, you know what I'm kind of thinking, y'all? If you're an NBA GM, right? How many years are you giving, if you draft a young guy, right? How many years are you giving him to like show you something that you'll be like, yeah, we're gonna keep building around you. Let's say in LaMelo Ball situation where it's been a couple of injuries. Like, just wondering, like for you guys each, like give me a number of how many years you give him.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The only reason I can't put a number on it is because of Stephen Curry's story, bro. That's the only reason I can't put a number on it. Like we really never know. It could just be another early career struggle with these little ankle injuries, and then boom, he finally finds a workout regimen or maybe a diet plan or something that helps him stays healthy for the NBA season. And then my thing is, if LaMelo Ball stays healthy, he's a great player. He's a very impactful player, but his only thing is staying on the court. That's all it is. That's really all it is to me. I can't put a number on it, John.
Yeah, that makes it tough. Sam, appreciate you tuning in again.
Good, Sam.
What's up, Sam?
But yeah, it is tough, man. Like you say, I mean, Curry's a great example, specifically with the ankles. I mean, obviously we're on the negative end of things right now, but much deeper into his career as to where Joel Embiid was early in his career and all the injury concerns he had and why he fell in the draft, given only 2 spots, but still fell. And there was obviously very serious injury concerns there. With LaMelo, like we say, it continues to happen, but as you say, Jay, he is continuing to be a very productive player and clearly an all-star or fringe all-star caliber guy when he's on the floor. It's just, can he stay? So it's tough. I mean, eventually there does come a point where you have to give up. Now, if it's an issue where it's, it's more conditioning related, he's not following the training regimen, then he's not helping himself, then I think that number becomes a lot shorter than, if you're 3-4 years into a guy's career and it's reoccurring issue over reoccurring issue that's not necessarily completely fixable by his own behavior, but he's not exactly putting the best step forward to make sure he's going to be available. That becomes a little bit more of a question. Not that I know anywhere near whether that's the case with LaMelo, just speaking in hypotheticals. On the contrary, of course, if you got a guy who is, very strict with his rehab, with his training, with any strength conditioning he needs to do to try and make sure that he's avoiding those injuries, sometimes the guys are just injury prone, and that injury after injury after injury at one body part is just going to make it tough. But it is really hard to give up. I think Charlotte are probably around that point, and this is the start of year 6 now. It's probably getting to that point, just like New Orleans are probably getting to that point along the same timeline with Zion. So exact number's tough, but it's man, but I think it's probably around time.
Okay, no, that's real. And the reason why I ask y'all that is because I was going to say exactly what you just said, Devin. I think that the Hornets are making a great decision. If they, just go ahead and go through with this, right? Like, I think one of the situations where you got to rip the Band-Aid, right? Because LaMelo Ball has been in the league for 6 years. Only 2 years he's played more than 50 games. His first year he played 51 games. His second year he played 75. The rest of the years, 36, 22, 47, and then only played 9 so far. This year. I say that to say, like, that is an extremely injury-prone player, and to be acquiring talent every single year in the draft, like to Jay's point, the Connor Knipple, like you keep acquiring great talent, but you keep kind of having to put them in your back pocket because you're like, well, we're still building around this great talent. He just needs to get healthy. He just needs to get healthy. Which, yes, I 100% agree, Jay. Like, once he's healthy, he's extremely impactful. Now, I don't think he has the greatest touch since Stephen Curry, like how you said, but I do think he is really impactful on the court. And he's like he's a 6'7" point guard and knows how to push the pace, knows how to score. Like, don't get me wrong, like, everything on the court is amazing. The shot selection sometimes is iffy, but I still, like, on the court, great impact. But I say that to say, like, you can't just continue to hold on. I don't want to say to lost hope, because I'm not saying there's no hope there, but you're missing out on a lot of other opportunities just hoping that one works out. So honestly, I think 6 years has to be the mark. I mean, at some point, what do you have to be like, yo, God, dog, like, in half the seasons you played, like, you're not playing more than 50 games. Like, your best ability is availability. So, and again, I'm not dogging him at all, but I'm just saying you might have other options if you look elsewhere, and sometimes they might be better. And a change of scenery might even be better for LaMelo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, John, I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's a part of the Charlotte Hornets that agrees with you. Part of me feels like yesterday that report didn't come from LaMelo, but maybe it was a leak within the Charlotte Hornets to give LaMelo Ball a wake-up call that, listen, it's time to take shit serious. Like, you haven't been healthy for the last few years. This is no longer we're not gonna handle you with kid gloves. Like, we're going to treat you like a grown man. We're paying you millions of dollars to be our superstar, and it's time for you to act like it. And that's what I feel like, because immediately LaMelo Ball went to Twitter, put the clown emoji on the reporter tweet that initially said the report that went everywhere on the internet. And clearly it wasn't from LaMelo. He literally said, I love being here. He wants to stay here. So I think it came from the Charlotte Hornets, and I think they feel the same way as you do, John.
Man, that's real. That's real. I mean, makes sense.
But with that being said, guys, I want to play a little game with you guys real quick, right? I want to know, we're going to play a little who would you rather, right? LaMelo Ball edition.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball or Josh Giddey?
I'm taking
LaMelo Ball.
Wait, what about you, Dev?
I'm taking LaMelo.
Okay. All right. I like it. LaMelo Ball or Trae Young?
Give me Trae Young. If LaMelo's healthy, it's more of a debate, but Trae Young's just on the floor more.
Yeah, your best ability is availability. Damn, my stuttering issue really kicked in on that one. But no, yeah, definitely checking Trae Young.
LaMelo Ball or Jalen Suggs?
I'm taking LaMelo.
Okay. LaMelo Ball or Ryan Rollins?
Ooh,
LaMelo Ball. I haven't seen enough.
What about you?
One game can't do it for me. Or one season.
I think I'm LaMelo for now, but it's a lot closer than it would have been a month ago. That's for sure.
I agree 100% because Ryan Rollins has been balling his ass off. Most improved player by far. LaMelo Ball or last year's Jaden Ivey?
I'm taking LaMelo.
I'm still taking LaMelo.
LaMelo Ball or Stephen Castle?
Right now, give me LaMelo.
Yeah.
LaMelo? And lastly, LaMelo Ball or John Morant?
John Morant.
Man.
I'm taking John.
Yeah.
More off availability, to be honest. I mean, both are
more availability, John.
That's what I'm struggling with.
Hold on, brother. Let's pull the numbers up because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. But let's pull it up. And I'm not talking about
what don't lie? That Instagram live, my brother.
Ja has played 71 games the last 3 seasons. Given a large chunk of that was suspension and whatnot, but
irregardless, not playing.
Yeah.
He's look. If we're going availability, John Morant's more available. In 7 years, one time he played 67, 63, 57, 61. LaMelo Ball only one time has played more than 50. Twice has played more than 50. I just named you 3 times John Morant played at least 60 games.
You going John Morant?
That's tough. I think I'm LaMelo right now. I think, but it's bad. I don't like either right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, both great players, but I'm gonna have to go LaMelo, bro. I'm gonna have to go LaMelo. Josh shooting like 90% from 3 this year. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, Ja minutes have been bad this year for sure. Hopefully, new situation. If that's how it leads, he'll have a little bit more rejuvenation. But he definitely does not look bought in Memphis right now.
No, yeah, I'm talking Bada and Ja. I'm not talking the Ja we saw against the Lakers that was giving the ball up to Cam Spencer and asking him to do something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just a little. I need to get this off about the Grizzlies. John Morant. Even though I said I'll take LaMelo Ball over John Morant, but completely different from that topic. John Morant gets way too much hate for how bad the Grizzlies are. Can we give some accountability to Jaren Jackson Jr., dog? He's averaging like 6 rebounds a game. How many people have to call you out for you to be a better rebounder? Averaging a career low block shots per game, averaging the lowest points per game in the last 4 years. We have to give some accountability to Jaren Jackson Jr. It's not all on John Morant.
No, that's real. It's because John Morant gets all the praise. So if you get all the praise, you also get all the hate when it's time to get the hate.
You throw a couple grenades in the crowd and you public enemy number 1, bro. It's crazy.
I don't
know.
Still a fire Sally. Still a fire Sally.
Still for show. Yeah.
Well, on that note, though, Jay, talking about Ja, obviously another guy who we've heard lots about in rumors this year. I know we've discussed about it a little bit, but do you think that the Grizzlies need to move off of him at this point? And if so, I know there's no ideal fit around the league, but where do you think he could end up landing if they do decide to move off of him?
I'm going to be honest. I feel like the Grizzlies need to hold on to John Morant because let's be real. Talents like him are few and far between. And no matter if you think you're going to find better in the draft, there's no guarantee. And people are going to say John Morant isn't even close to the play he was a few years ago. He's not even like productive anymore. That's just false. If you watch the game, John Morant cannot even get into the paint because he's getting doubled. They are creating a wall as if he's Giannis because the opposing team does not trust anybody else on the Grizzlies to shoot, bro. They don't. They are guarding Ja like he's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He cannot get into the paint where he thrives. And the coach isn't doing him any favors. Obviously, they're clashing, and they need to come up with a better game plan to really use Ja, make Ja's strengths show on the court because that's not the case. I mean, he's shooting, like I said, very bad from 3 this year, and we're not going to make John Morant just a 3-point shooter. That's just not who he is. In my opinion, I think he should stay with the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies need to retool. They have been doing that for the last 2 years. Got rid of Desmond Bane, got rid of Dylan Brooks. You got Cedric Howard in. You got Zach Edey, Vince Williams. I forgot his name. But there's a bunch of good young guys. Scottie Pippen Jr. There's a bunch of good young guys on this squad that the Grizzlies have brought in, but there just needs to be a better sense of direction for the squad because I feel like the Grizzlies don't even know if Ja Morant is their star player because they're not acting like it. I think Ja should stay in Memphis.
Honestly, it'd be cool to see that, but I just think that it needs to change the scenery. Like he needs to change the scenery. Like to your point earlier, Jay, like the amount of hate he gets. Yes, like some of it is unjustified, but some of it is just also people that don't really know basketball, and then all you know is John Morant, and then you hear that the Grizzlies suck, and you're like, oh, just John Morant, right? You just put 2 and 2 together, right? And then you add the people that already don't like him because of whatever he's did in the past, however people may feel about it, right? So I think that like he's just set up to fail there, I think, right? Like anything that goes wrong is going to be John Morant's fault. And anything that goes right, it's going to be like, oh, wow, the Grizzlies are such a good team. But anything that goes wrong, it's damn, John Morant, you couldn't do this. You're not a leader, and you're not this, and you're not that. And honestly, in my opinion, the man, I think he just needs to change the scenery. And to Devin's point, I don't know how many there are that like are willing, because I think he's young. He's 26, right? So I don't want to say he's old, but this is the player he is. Like, he's not going to become a different player. I think this is who John Morant is, and any team taking John Morant has to understand, like, we're getting a guy that's pretty on ball dominant. So I don't know. I don't know how many teams are willing to, unless I guess you're willing to retool your whole team around that. That's a lot of what's it called? Heliocentric basketball, like my dog Luka.
Yeah, but I feel like at what point in the NBA did we stop building our team around the best player? And
do you think John Morant's the best player to be able to go win a team? Like, it's okay playing heliocentric basketball against Luka because this is generational talent, but is John Morant a generational talent in your opinion?
I'm not gonna go out the way and say he's a generational talent, but when the team is built around him, they are a top 3 seed. When a team is built around him, they're a playoff squad. They're actually good. And when you start to get away from that, like, look, you can't have a player that plays a certain way and you're building a team to play a different style of basketball. That's not gonna lead to wins. That's just not realistic.
Absolutely. I think honestly where they really made the mistake, and then Dev, I want you to go, but where they really made the mistake is jokingly letting go of Dylan Brooks, but actually real talk, letting go to Taylor Jenkins. Like, did John Morant, the best player, or your so-called best player, or whoever you're paying the most money to, that's what we know the NBA is about. Whoever's getting the most money is going to get the most shots. So whoever you're paying the most money to, they got to see eye to eye with the coaching staff. Like, there's no way, no matter what kumbaya session that the Grizzlies had, there's no way John Morant and the coach are tight. John Morant went on national television and called him out. There's no way they're tight. You wouldn't do that to your homie. You wouldn't do that to somebody you really respect. So I don't know. Yeah. That's just the way I feel.
Yeah, that's the big concern. I mean, historically speaking in the league, the star player and the coach don't agree. Usually doesn't end well. I'll get into it here briefly here, but Gabe, appreciate you turning in, Mr.
GabeSlidIn.
He's sliding in. But I'm gonna play a bit of devil's advocate here on both sides because I'm a little bit conflicted with Ja. I think I ultimately lean one way a little bit more than the other, but I think the one way you could look at it so far this year, similar to how the Grizzlies were last year, which is becoming more of a team-wide issue more so than anything else, is that a lot of the roster has remained injured and Ja really hasn't had a full complement of this healthy Grizzlies team to play with. And I think a lot of the pieces they're missing are really impacting him. Obviously, last year they were out a lot of guys. Ja was part of that. But that's been no different this year. I mean, Brandon Clark has still missed time. Zach Edey is just working his way back into the rotation. So his 2 best play finishers or potential lob threats at the rim have been out for most of the season with Brandon Clark and now Zach Edey just now working his way back in. They've also been missing a lot of their guard play that they'd have around him that would ease a little bit of the pressure off of him. I know we just talked about Ja being very heliocentric and ball dominant, which is true, but when the team doesn't have anyone else that is trusted to make shots at a consistent enough level or enough guys that can create for their own, as we've said, Ja is going to continue to get all of the on-ball pressure, get blitzes sent his way, get some doubles sent his way. And it's just not going to be conducive for him being able to get that rim scoring at an efficient level that we know he can have. Scottie Pippen, of course, Scottie Pippen Jr. being one of those injuries. Ty Jerome, who they brought in the offseason, hasn't really played. So getting those guys back and seeing what Ja can look like with a full roster alongside the development of Cedric Howard with hopefully Jalen Wells rebounding a little bit, maybe that looks better, and maybe that then makes Ja look a little bit happier, and the Grizzlies and Ja alongside them a little bit more successful for the rest of the year. But then, as you just mentioned, John, the other side of the equation is If John, the coaching staff, John, the front office ain't getting along, and there's no repairing that, or they're not willing to fire a head coach and make sure that they get in a head coach to recertify that they want to build around Ja, it's a lost cause. You can't fix that at that point. He's not going to be bought in enough, and it's just not going to result in anything that's going to be overly successful to the level they want it to be, and they probably got to trade him. The only team that I've seen that I think makes some amount of sense that I've seen thrown around is Phoenix. Jalen Green probably has to be involved, just A, for money, and B, positionally. But a Ja, Devin Booker backcourt could be interesting, because then Ja doesn't necessarily have to be your number one from a scoring option, but Booker's obviously very happy to play off the ball at Sun as well. Could be an interesting duo. I'm not sure if it's an ideal fit, but it might be one of the better ones.
I don't know about the Phoenix fit, Dev. I like the way D Booker's running the point, man. And I really liked him and Jalen Green that one game. Very small sample size, but I like the way they were able to play off each other. And we know that, once again, Ja Morant's not a good 3-point shooter, and that may conflict with the way Devin Booker wants to play. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. This might be a dumb question, but who do he got running the guard position right now?
Davion Mitchell,
Yeah.
but it's really Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
and that'll be obviously assisted by Tyler Hero once he's back. But
there we go. I was about to say, now I know they got some. I was like, I know they got a great guard. Yeah, Tyler Hero. Never mind. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take the ball out of Tyler Hero's hands, put it in Ja Morant's hands, to be honest with you. But man, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm looking around the league, and like, I don't really see many teams that like I can really see.
Minnesota?
Do you take the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands?
And I don't know if they'd even have the assets. I mean, they'd have to
make a money match.
They don't have any picks, and then money match.
Man, honestly, guys, this is gonna sound crazy. The only team I genuinely see is like the Kings or something, just because it's like fuck you, like go hoop, like just go play basketball in Sacramento or something. I don't know. I guess, bro,
that's purgatory, bro. We can't do that.
But that's real life purgatory. But real talk, you guys, like go through the league. There's literally no team in the West, and I don't think I'd see a team in the East as well either. No. I mean, unless they want to try, the Hornets would only get older. If you want to do it a little, I mean, we're gonna take LaMelo and take Ja and just do a little swap situation there.
Nah, I don't like that either, bro. I see. I don't know if there's really the Nets. They need a point guard. I don't know.
Need a point guard. They need everything.
Everything. Let him and MPJ go crazy, bro.
Yeah, honestly, no one else on that ball. No one else on the team would touch the ball, man.
Right.
Ja to MPJ.
To Ja.
Oh wait, no, you can't
fix it up to MPJ.
Can't forget Cam Thomas, man. You gotta get his touches too.
Yeah, well, he's injured, so he can wait his turn.
And then the Wizards, I guess that's another purgatory. No, real talk, guys. Real talk. I think if Ja Morant's smart, he looks around the league and he either says, I need to fix my game and turn my game into a whole nother thing, or I need to fix my attitude so I can stay here in Grizzlies and figure it out here with this coaching staff. You know, I think that's because honestly, there's nowhere else, honestly, around the league.
I mean, he's been pretty vocal saying that he loves Memphis. He wants to stay in Memphis, but it's really not the city of Memphis. It's really not necessarily the team, the players on Memphis. I think it's really the organization and the coaching staff, bro. That's what I think the problem is.
Yeah, that's real. I think it definitely starts with the coaching staff.
But also, I feel like Devin might be right. Like, you might just have to trade him because you already fired Taylor Jenkins. What are you going to do? Fire Thomas Isolo too? Like, that's unacceptable. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah. I think you have to get rid of him. It just changes scenery for you, for the team, and him.
Yeah, I mean, reality is if you're sitting there as a GM, neither decision is easy, but I think it's probably an easier decision to justify, especially right now, to say, okay, look, Shaw's not happy. He's clearly not playing well. We just got off of Desmond Bain. We're in a good position to at least retool, if not rebuild. Let's do that. As opposed to, yeah, we might have fired our head coach, and we already regret the new guy we hired, and we got to fire him again.
Yeah.
That one probably is a little bit harder to defend and a little bit harder to keep your job through.
Mm.
Reality is they're going to make the decision that keeps them employed. Now, it might still be the right decision regardless if things are that irreparable with Ja and members within the organization, but I do think that's probably the more likely route regardless.
Man, well, John Morant's gonna have to get a cover up. I know he's got a big old grizzly tattooed somewhere on him, so I'm just kidding. He'll probably rock that forever, man. Change his
Steph
life.
chiming in.
I'll find my opinion. Grizzly Steph. All
that's
live.
incredible.
Hey, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, like how we were saying, I think John Morant and the Grizzlies front office got to see eye to eye, because if not, then you just got to get someone that at least just like that the voice is resonating, you know, because it could just be that the coaching staff voice is just not resonating. Like they're talking, and then you got the players like, yeah, all right, bro, like.
You know what? Wait, hold on. I got a trade destination.
Hey, Trill, I just said that, Steph.
Wait, hold on. Hear me out. John Morant for Denny Avdia. Who says no?
Man.
Did I cook?
I think it's a bit early for Portland. I think they probably want to see at least another year of Scoot, plus how much is Sharp going to develop this year. Now, if we're trade deadline, Scoot's back from injury, he continues to look bad, maybe they're a little bit more willing at that point, but I don't think they'd want to move off of Denny still. That or they need Ja and things. I think they'd be valuing Denny more than Ja at this point, and honestly, understandably so.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah.
Hey, Steph, I just said that. I said we should potentially potentially Ja to the Heat. My only thing that I was thinking, and to your comment right here, is would we want Ja Morant, because he has semi-heliocentric basketball. He plays pretty heliocentric basketball. Would we want him taking the ball away from Tyler when Tyler gets back? Let me see, how do you feel about that, bro? Or how do you feel, or Steph or whoever? Or do y'all agree with that? Do y'all think he would take the looks away from Tyler?
Keep Hero. T-Hero needs the ball in his hands. I wouldn't put it in Ja's hands. And I absolutely love I'm a big Miami Heat fan. Well, I love watching the Miami Heat play. I'm not a Miami Heat fan, but I love their offense. And Ja would fit in there seamlessly, no doubt, with his play style. But the ability to stretch the floor the way the Miami Heat do with some of their players, I just prefer the ball being in Tyler Hero's hands.
Wow. Okay. Steph is saying, okay. Steph is saying, he's saying trade Tyler for Ja and then pair Ja with Bam. Okay.
Oh, nah. Stinky spacing.
He said stinky spacing. You're hilarious. And my fans like Miami. That's hilarious. Okay. Hey, I mean, I see it. Yeah, I do think the spacing will be a little tough. And I just feel like if I'm Miami, I'm asking for more for Tyler Hero than Ja. I mean, Tyler, man is a bucket. I ain't gonna lie.
It'd be interesting, especially with Bam seemingly looking like an improved shooter this year.
Taking 5 attempts at 38%, right?
Yeah, like he's been pretty good. Obviously, the sample size isn't massive yet, but it's not insignificant. So, if he can still shoot the three, obviously Powell gives them much improved spacing this year. So I think it could be interesting. I don't know. Realistically, I think if Miami makes a move, they're not moving Hero. They have $30 million in Wiggins' salary and $22 million in Terry Rozier's salary. That's what's getting moved. I don't think they're really looking to move Hero at this point, unless they're getting a superstar. But I don't think Ja's the guy who's moving the needle for them.
Nah, Ja, stay in Memphis, dog. Stay in Memphis, dog. Work it out, man.
Work it out, man. Have a nice little kumbaya session.
Hey, the grass ain't always green on the other side. Sometimes it's brown.
Betting time.
Time will tell, man. Time will tell. But let's talk about another star who's been involved in some re-emerging trade rumors thanks to his good start to the year on a team who's sitting right above the Grizzlies, and that's Lauri Markkanen in the Utah Jazz. Of course, it's been in trade rumors pretty much since he got there, once he started breaking out in Utah. Had a down year last year, but he's certainly back to the best basketball of his career now to start the year. We'll start with you here, John. Point one, I guess, is should Utah even trade him? And if they do, where are some potential teams you'd like to see him go? Because unlike Ja, very heliocentric. I think he's a lot easier to fit into a lot of different teams.
You're talking about Lauri Markkanen here?
Lauri Markkanen, correct.
Man, oh man. I'll be honest, as a Laker, at first I wanted Lauri Markkanen. That was one of the players I was big on, to be honest with you.
Lakers fans want everybody. Damn. my bad.
Damn.
My bad. My interest.
Come on, gang, control them. Nah, just kidding. Nah, but at first I really did want Lauri Markkanen, but honestly, to be real with you guys, he said, I'm not gonna lie, build around Lauri and Keontae. That is a great point, Steph. I think Keontae George is that guy, and he's going to continue to grow into that guy. And I think that'd be good. That's a good 2-man game. But as far as what I was really going to get into was, look, I really did want Lauri Markkanen at one point, but honestly, I feel like the Lakers might have even. I feel like we might have gave up too much trying to get a player like Lauri Markkanen, and then I feel like we in a way could have, gave up too much, and so not getting Lauri Markkanen could be us dodging a bullet. But honestly, Devin, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what your question was, but because I was thinking about the Lakers and Lauri Markkanen, and I just started going on. I was gonna go on a tangent, but I didn't want to do that.
No, you're good. I was just saying, do you think they should trade him? And if so, where are some of the teams you'd like him to go?
Yeah, we got Luka, exactly, Trill. What teams would I want to see? Let me see. Jay, you can go. You can go while I think about this.
So I saw a lot of speculation that the Detroit Pistons should trade for Lauri Markkanen. Absolutely fucking not. Hey, shout out to Lauri Markkanen, but he does not, to me at least, does not fit what it means to be a Detroit Piston, and I feel like he would fuck up the vibes over there. Honestly, Lauri Markkanen is a phenomenal player, but why does nobody talk about the fact that he is averaging the quietest 30-piece in the entire NBA? Nobody talks about the fact that, it's empty stats. They're fucking losing. How come nobody says that? I'm sorry. I just had to get that off my chest. Lauri Markkanen is a phenomenal player. There's a bunch of different teams that I feel like he'd help take to the next level. I mean, off the top of my head, I wouldn't mind if he possibly came back to the Bulls. That would be kind of tough, considering the Bulls are a lot better at this point compared to where they were when he was first traded. A couple teams he would also help. Let me see. Off the top of my head, I would probably not the.
I think the Warriors would be amazing because you just add a more continued rim protection that he can provide more and continue to shoot. But I also think like a team like the Hawks would be great, to be real with you. But to be real with you, Jay, I think there's, just like how you said, there's a lot of teams in the league that a player like that could benefit from a player like that. A player that stretches the floor, could be a lob threat. I think there's a lot of teams, to be real with you.
Yeah, he's a really easy fit, and unlike we were just mentioning with Ja, most of his offense comes off the ball, working off the screens. He can just sit and space the floor in the corner on the wing. He's very easy to integrate compared to a lot of guys you're going to be bringing in who's averaging near 30 a night. The Warriors are an interesting team. I do continue to hear brought up, and I do think the fit's fun. The issue with the Warriors is they'd probably have to give out Draymond to make the money work.
You think it's too late, Dev, considering they had the opportunity to do so?
It's just tough financially. I mean, I'd like the fit. I think if you could have Jimmy, Steph, and Markkanen, I think that trio is great. It's just they'd have to be willing to get rid of Draymond. I don't think they're going to. It would have to be Draymond, Kuminga, and then someone, but it would be anyone at that point. But I don't think they're going to be willing to get rid of Draymond to get it done. I think that's the biggest holdup there. So, but otherwise, the fit's fun. But yeah, I've heard Detroit's interesting. I don't mind the fit, I think, as much as you do, Jay. I think he's an easy guy to integrate. Duran and Stewart are going to be great screeners for him to get him open off the ball. You get more length on the defensive end. Not that he's some great lateral mover or elite defender by any means, but his length is certainly disruptive.
But
Another team I've thought of too is Miami. I think if that's where they want to improve on the wing and they want to move off of Wiggins and they go with Laurie, Hero, Powell, whoever they want their fifth starter to be next to Bam, I think that could be an interesting run if they wanted to push for it this year as well. So, I mean, there's a ton of teams that could look to move for him. That's really the intriguing thing, but I don't think they should. I think Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen is fine for now. They're playing competitive basketball. I don't know if I'd be in a rush to move them unless you're typical Danny Ainge and you can just get an absurd package, in which case, fair enough. But I wouldn't exactly be in any rush to move them right now.
So last stream, I believe it was Trill that brought up this trade specifically for the Philadelphia 76ers, bringing in MPJ, which I fucking love that. What if they went the Lauri Markkanen route? Perhaps move on from a Paul George contract. Perhaps make the big move on from a Joel Embiid's contract. What do you guys think about that?
I'm gonna be honest. I think that'd be solid because you'd have your big man position, and we know they got the guards on lock with Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and to your point and what just Steph said exactly, but just a little bit politer than what Steph said. You just get, you move on from PG, right?
Pack them up.
You just pack them up, right? You just move on. But I mean, walking away from Embiid is a tall order, though. As funny as that sounds, I think it's a tall order because Jay, we started the stream and you were talking about the Steph story, right? And honestly, I mean, when Joel Embiid on the court is like, it's insane. But to exactly what we started the stream by saying, your best ability is availability, and if bro just can be available, how much can we really rely on him?
Yeah, honestly, they messed up giving him that huge extension. Daryl Morey is one of my favorite GMs in the entire NBA. He's one of the most innovative, one of the most creative, but he made a huge mistake giving Joel Embiid that extension. Awful move.
Hey, man, but you think about it, bro. He's in a tough position, bro. The way Joel Embiid's playing, honestly, look, sometimes we can stand on our bad takes. Before the Joel Embiid really got really bad injury prone, and before Jokic became Jokic and took off, I used to take Joel Embiid over Jokic, over AD because of his sheer dominance. I mean, he would dominate you inside, and then he'd be able to come up. He'd hit that little hezzy, pull into that little midi. Like, he's unstoppable as a big, to be honest with you. But to my exact point I just said, you're most valuable when you're on the court. And if he can't, be on the court all the time, then I can never take him over Jokic. I can never take him over an AD. And even AD is not available at all.
I mean, John, that wasn't like a bad take at that point because I was on the same boat with you. I was rocking with Joel Embiid over Jokic too because of his offensive dominance. But that quickly deteriorated, I believe, after I think the ship sailed after the first round series, the Sixers versus the Knicks, where we clearly saw the shift from Joel Embiid-centric Sixers to a Tyrese Maxey-centric Sixers, where Joel Embiid, obviously he wasn't 100%, but you could see, I guess metaphorically or literally, that he was giving the keys to Tyrese Maxey, because Tyrese Maxey is what really was really the energy and the motor behind that Sixers being competitive whatsoever in that series. Even Joel Embiid had several palsy and still put up a 50-piece. It was really Tyrese Maxey that was just the motor behind that.
It's tough, man. I think it's tough. Like, I get what you're saying now that we look at it. Obviously, that contract isn't ideal, even though, when he's on the floor, he's still able to contribute and coexist well. And certainly he's passed the torch at this point. I think it's tough to look at your fans, though, and say, look, our guy who was an MVP a year ago, yeah, we're not going to pay him. Because he wasn't, like, what's the alternative? You let him walk? Or you try and negotiate him below the max, which you're probably not going to do, or you trade him.
Yeah, he didn't get past the second round, bro. He didn't get past the second round.
But it's the talent, though.
But what's the alternative? That there has to be an alternative. I'm not saying that paying him a max contract looks amazing, especially now. But what's the alternative? And how do you spell that? And how do you make that a better decision? I don't know that you can.
I just feel like your hand is forced, right? And to Devin's point, I think your hand is forced because if you offer him any less, you're just screwing yourself down the road because he's going to be like, oh, all right, like that's how y'all feel, right? And then he's going to hold on to that.
I mean, but it takes a certain amount of self-awareness. You got to be like, all right, I have not been the healthiest of my career, whether it's of my own doing or just my genetic build. I haven't been the healthiest, and maybe I don't deserve a supermax extension. That just is what it is, and that's also my problem with these GMs. They just give out bags, bro.
That's the problem with the NBA. That's not just that's every GM in the NBA.
Let's negotiate. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
bro. He was.
And
I'm an unk. So what is
best in the world?
Okay. Here we go. I'm like, what analogy is this? Yeah, absolutely. He was.
No. I disagree. You saw the decline when they gave him that extension. You could foreshadow the decline.
I think honestly, the year he got MVP, I think he was supposed to get it the year before. The year that Jokic got it, I think is the year he was supposed to get it. I think it should have flip-flopped in my opinion. Jokic should have got it the other year, and then Embiid should have got it the first year. But irregardless, 100% Steph. He was the best player in the world and deserved it. There's no disagreement, bro.
Yeah, I mean that extension. Although you mentioned J Max, he started to take the torch a little bit more. I don't think it was past at that point when they had that series against the Knicks, but Maxey was becoming more prevalent. I'll give you that. Embiid averaged 33, 11, and 6 in that series. How do you not pay that? How do you not pay that?
I understand that, but I understand that Joel Embiid, no matter what, when he's on the floor, he's going to put up a certain amount of numbers because he's just that talented. But just like a lot of other players in the league that are incredibly talented, there's a cap on how far you can go with Joel Embiid because of some may say his conditioning, some may say his injury health, some may say he just isn't made for that moment. Because Joel Embiid and James Harden went 7 games with the Boston Celtics, right? And they were very close to eliminating the Boston Celtics from the playoffs. And the second half of that game 7, Joel Embiid disappeared, gone off the face of the map, bro.
But off that, you're gonna discredit an entire MVP season.
We'll be playing 82 for. We play 82 to get to the playoffs and go get us a chip. That's what we do this for.
So how are you presenting this to him? Like, how are you presenting that we're not giving you super max money?
Joel Embiid, you're supposed to be our guy, but your lack of availability, your lack of health, and your lack of being able to get us over that hump has been evident in the last couple playoff runs, right? So we can't just dish out a bag for you. We can negotiate. You know what I'm saying? You want 30 mil? We can give you 30 M's. You want 40, 50? Oh, all right. That's too much. Listen now, big fella. Hey, we are trying to build a team around you. We got Tyrese Maxey emerging as a goddamn superstar. I mean, that's how I'm approaching Joel Embiid.
Okay. No, hey, that's respect. That's respect. But you have to know you might lose him on the back end.
Hey, I see the back end of his knees, dog. I'm good. I'm good.
I see the back end of his knees. It's crazy. Steph said, you cannot say we won't give you Supermax money when you want an MVP. Trill, Jay, he coming for you.
You cannot say we won't give you Supermax money when you won MVP, which is literally best in the world. Listen, brother, I get it. I get it. Joel Embiid is a phenomenal talent, MVP type talent, but there's just levels to it, and I can't be the only one that saw that he just wasn't deserving of a Supermax extension. I'm sorry.
You might be the only one.
I think you might be the only one, brother. You might be the only one.
I don't know, bro.
Show a comment about 3 years. This one?
Yeah.
That's why they signed him in 3 years, not 5.
Yeah.
Hey. And if that's the case, he should be up in...
He's up in 28, 29. Well, 28, 29, he's got a player option. The extension doesn't begin until next year.
What? Damn. All right, yeah.
So he's under contract up until he turns 35.
Oh, That's gonna age like eggnog, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, I'll agree it's rough right now, but that's hindsight. It's at the time. At the time, it makes all of the sense, man. All of the
Listen,
sense.
Joel Embiid has played 6 of the last 14 games for the 76ers this year. So
And that's the reality of Joel Embiid right now, but that is what it is. That's 2 years removed from the extension. So,
hey, Daryl Morey, you couldn't have seen that? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Maybe Daryl Morey needs to hire Jay.
Holla at me, bro. Hit me, bro. I'll get you right. I get this team right.
He gonna give Buddy Hield the best shooter. I mean, the guy that has the best touch in Stephen Curry on the team.
On guard. Paul George for LaMelo Ball? Who said no?
definitely Charlotte.
Who we got next, though?
Let's stay out east. Let's talk about, again, one of the more interesting ones, but I guess one we had to expect given they didn't extend on the summer, and that is the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young. Obviously, he has missed some time early this season, and they've been quite good without him. They were on quite the run. They just picked up a loss midweek, but Jalen Johnson and Yuka Kongwu, Porzingis has been good in his time in the lineup with the Kongwu playing some minutes next to him. It's a fun young group right now. Of course, that's going to bring into question, do they extend Trae Young? Now, I don't know if the whole "are they better without Trae Young" question needs to be talked about. We clearly saw that the other night when they played a good defense and they had some crazy turnovers in the game that ended up resulting in a loss. But do they need to move off of Trae Young as opposed to paying him? David, could start with you. What are your thoughts on the future of Trae Young right now?
Hey, Devin, we can have that conversation because they're goddamn better without Trae Young. Come on, man. Jalen Johnson is the point guard of the future for the Atlanta Hawks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is him. He needs more touches. They do not need Trae Young shooting goddamn 30% on 9 3-point attempts a game. He's shooting logo threes, shooting 50%, bro. I don't want to see that no more. Let's get into our offense. Let everybody get touches. I like seeing Nickeil Alexander-Walker provide constant rim pressure. Dyson Daniels may not be the scorer we're looking for, but when he's more engaged on the offensive end, I like what he provides. He's more engaged on the defensive end. We got, like I said, Jalen Johnson is the main facilitator, and I think it needs to stay that way. Even when Trae Young does come back, and if you see what you have right now as the Atlanta Hawks GM, and you're like, hey, maybe we should move on from Trae Young, I'm all for it. We don't even have to wait till he comes back, because since Trae Young touched down in Atlanta, the first few years, all right, cool, wow, this may be the next Steph Curry. He's a phenomenal playmaker as well. The next 3 years, all right, we're looking for him to play a different kind of play style. Let's see if we get him on ball a little bit. He's a cone on defense, a huge defensive liability, but he doesn't seem to be the type of player that wants to adjust. And it's funny that everybody likes to pick on LaMelo Ball for not being a quote-unquote serious player, not wanting to adjust, but nobody talks about Trae Young. I mean, we want winning basketball. Is winning getting to the play-in every year? Is that what we call success? Is that serious hoops? I wouldn't consider that serious hoops. Like Devin said, Onyeka Okongwu is taking this opportunity this year, and he's playing phenomenal. I mean, the best season of his career so far. Kristaps Porzingis has looked pretty good. I absolutely love what I'm seeing from this Atlanta Hawks team. And Devin, I think they're better without Trae Young, bro.
Man, I think there can be certain nights when it might look better without Trae Young, but I think to say that this team is better without the player that's been essentially leading this team for the past couple of seasons, I think well, it's not crazy, but I don't think it's correct, right? I personally think that they should continue rocking with Trae Young, because for the fact of, like, I feel like this team is in a way already kind of built around him, to be honest with you, and they've been building around him. So to shift and go in a different direction, I think right now might cause more of a rift and more negative than it does towards a positive, right? And the only thing I can't get with, though, is Jay, you mentioned Jalen Johnson being on ball. I don't know if Jalen Johnson is that on ball. I feel like Jalen Johnson, like, he can be on ball, but do you really want Jalen Johnson every game in and game out, 82 games in the season, and then going into the playoffs because, like how you said, you should be competing for a championship. You think Jalen Johnson is your point guard that's initiating your offense for a championship team?
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but that brother is averaging 7 assists per game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I bugging?
No,
he is around that. He is around that. He's averaged 7.4 since Trey has been out, I believe, or at least in the month of November.
Hey,
I got a devil's advocate stat for that, but I'll get to that.
My bad. Continue, John.
No. I was just gonna say, I just think that where the Hawks are right now, everything's been built around Trey, and also to be real with you, off his sheer shooting ability and just off like the reputation he has around the league now and the way defense have to play him, he gets so many other players easy looks and just open looks. And like Kristaps feeds off that. Jalen Johnson feeds off that. Even players that kind of struggle on the offensive end end up getting so many easier and open looks off just simply Trae Young's gravity out there. And that's not even when he's hitting. Like Trae Young's the type of player that's like, he's going to shoot his way out of a slump. So irregardless of even if he's one of 10, the defense still got to play him up because you got to know he still might hit this next one and then run off 7 of them. So with all that being said, I don't think the Hawks should, be looking to move off him because I think you improve everyone else's game. And then you've also, kind of building around him. And he's, I think, looking on their team, one of their real only like true playmaking and a good playmaking point guard.
Cap. Yeah, John, first of all, Trae Young has been trying to shoot himself out of a slump for like 3 years. Let's get that out the way first. He has not been an efficient shooter for about 3 years now. So I do not trust that shot. I much rather those shots go to Nikhil Alexander corner threes. I'd rather that Jalen Johnson, pull up 3-point shot. I'd rather Onyeka Okongwu shoot threes. Kristaps Porzingis. Okay. I think you guys are underestimating how well Jalen Johnson sees the floor and the feel he has for the offensive game and running the offense. Because I think he's a very good facilitator in terms so much so that he can replace the productivity that Trae Young brings. And that's without having a defensive liability out there. I mean, to start the year, we saw that with Trae Young in the offense, operating the offense, they were losing. They did not look as good. I mean, in this run that they've been winning, was it some of the best teams in the NBA? Probably not. But from what I've seen, the players on offense look way more engaged now.
Look, Jay, so you said he'd been in a shooting slump last couple of years. So last season he shot 34% from 3, which is only 1% below the league average. The year before, 37% from 3, which is actually 2% above league average. And then the year before that, 33%. So how has he?
Are we looking for average or are we looking for great? John, talk to me, John. What are we looking for?
Jay, you cracking me up.
No, what are we looking for now, John?
But if we're talking about, because your statement was he's been in a shooting slump the last 3 years, we have to look at the average of how his shots. But look, all I'll say is this, Jay. Trae Young is the type of player that he may go 1 for 10 one game, but in that same game, he could catch fire and then end up running off another 10. And those are the type of players, Jay, that I think defenses have to guard irregardless. And for that, he's just getting everybody else open, open looks.
Listen, I'm not over here like trying to call Trae Young like a DoorDasher or anything like that. He's by far, he's a phenomenal player. He's like an offensive system, but is he the most efficient offensive system? I don't think he's there, or I think we saw the best version of Trae Young in the season where he shot efficiently from 3, and we have yet to see that. And that's my biggest problem for Trae Young, because what he is now may just be the player he is. Like you guys said about John Morant, that is just the player he is. He may just be an inefficient 3-point shooter, and that's okay, but there's just a cap that you can reach being that type of player.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Devin?
Yeah, I got a couple of points to make here. To your initial point, Jay, I just have to comment on it. The reason why, LaMelo Ball gets more criticism of not playing winning basketball compared to Trey is because, Trey has gotten out of said play-in he gets to where LaMelo has not. So that's
he only got one opportunity. He only got one opportunity. Come on.
He's had two, and they got destroyed in both of them.
Oh,
so,
my bad.
And Trey's been to a conference finals. It was a while ago, but, he's done a lot more. So I'm willing to give him a little bit of grace there. There's a reason for that. Now, as far as Jalen Johnson at point guard and then better without Trey, that's the main thing here, which I'll listen to the argument. I don't agree with the argument, but I'll listen to it. Trey, of course, we know, high volume guy, has a lot of turnovers, so on and so forth. You can question some of the efficiency, but a lot of that efficiency is due to the fact that he forces some bad shots, sure, but also because he just has the ball a lot. Do I think there's a happy medium where he starts to not feel the need to force as many shots, maybe not take as many of these deep threes? Sure. But he might be what he is at this point, and you kind of got to live with that if you're going to be able to keep him if you're Atlanta. Reality of the situation is even with as many possessions as he is the guy who's ball dominant, who's running the show, his ball handling, his court vision, his ability to get guys the ball in the right place at the right time, so much better than anyone else on this team. Jalen Johnson has developed here a ton, for sure. In transition, he's deadly here now. He's able to drive and kick very well as a coast-to-coast guy in transition. In the half court, it's just not the same. He doesn't have the advantage creation. He's not getting guys on his hip and drawing attention out of the pick and roll. He's just not doing it to the same level. Turnovers is the biggest stat that's notable for them. I'll say before Trey went out, small sample size, but the 6 games, the Hawks had 12.2 turnovers per night in those 6 games. That was the second lowest in the league. Only better team was Boston. Since then, I'm going to have to get the stat here. That's the last 11 games. They are 5th worst in the league at 16.9 turnovers per game. So, again, limited sample size, 6 games with Trey, 11 without him, but it's a very drastic difference. Now, given the offense has still been good, so it's not, a complete turnover numbers are up, and it's just bad. I mean, they are number 1 in the league in assists in that time. So they're moving the ball. They're getting guys involved, certainly. But, I mean, that's also what Trey Young does, and it's on nowhere near as significant a volume in terms of how many turnovers are coming as a result of it. They were 7th in the league in assists when Trey Young was in the lineup. So they were still moving the ball around. They were still getting a lot of good looks from 3. They were still getting a lot of assisted buckets for some of their role players. That's the biggest concern is how does that half-court offense look? The transition has been great, and that's been aided by the fact that their defense is better without Trey, certainly. I don't think anyone can argue against that. But how does the half-court offense look? And that becomes especially important in the playoffs. Reality is you're just not getting out and running the floor as much. You're not forcing as many turnovers that are leading to fast break points in the postseason. That's what this team is aiming for right now. I think it's tough without Trey Young to say we're going to go in and have a very good half-court offense led by Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Jalen Johnson as our creators. It won't be horrific, but I don't think it's going to be good.
Dev, do you think it will be worth the investment to go that direction instead of staying with Trey Young, someone who you have multiple years of experience, multiple years on his resume, know what you're going to get out of him? You basically know the type of player he's going to be. Do you think it's worth the investment in handing the keys to the offense to a Jalen Johnson to continue to develop his facilitating skills so he can possibly take the next leap and this team take the next leap? Because I do believe the ceiling is higher with the ball in Jalen Johnson's hands compared to Trey Young. Because Deb, you're completely right. I would love a scenario where Trey Young takes a little bit of a back seat, takes less of those like long range 3-point shots, plays more off ball to a Jalen Johnson, to a Nickeil Alexander-Walker, not in like a role player so much so, but like just a lesser role, just a lesser usage. But the type of player Trey Young is, I don't see that being an occurrence. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I I don't see it happening at a high volume. Maybe you see some of the deep bombs from three start to become a little bit less prevalent. But like we've said for quite a few players tonight, I mean, at this point in time in Trae Young's career, he is largely going to be what he is at this point. You're going to see some minor adjustments, but largely he's going to be who he is. I don't know that you're going to ever see him a ton off ball. I think you just might be able to see him change his on ball game a little bit. I think the reality is I think if you're the Hawks, it's probably tough with as much good young talent as they have right now and as good as they're playing to say, we want to pay Trae Young a max contract. I think that's a tough argument to make, and I think that's going to really limit what they can do going forward. But on the flip side of things, as much as I love Jalen Johnson, I mean, I picked him as my MIP a couple of years ago when he had his big breakout season. He's my guy. He's not going to be your lead guard. He just never is. He's a very good point forward, and he can definitely give you some very good secondary creation. He's going to continue to be great in transition in all facets. Can he be that guy who's going to lead you? Probably not. So if they can't get for Trae Young to the max, I think they're in a really sticky spot. And I really don't know what the answer is. I don't think paying him the max is the ideal solution, but what does moving off of him look like?
Hey, Dev, you know what's funny? I said the same thing about Cade Cunningham. I said the same thing a year ago about Cade Cunningham. Completely wrong.
That's two very different players, though, man. Very, very different type of prospects, developmental archetypes. Very different.
And
for sure.
And look how many years Cade Cunningham has had under him being the lead ball handler. Like that would take Jalen Johnson.
Not that many.
Compared to Jalen Johnson?
His first couple years, he was injured, John.
He played 64 games his first year. Imagine how many, and he started in all 64. Imagine how many possessions that is, you being leading on ball. Second year, you're right, only played 12 games. Third year, 62. Fourth year, 70 games. He's had a lot more reps at being on ball than Jalen Johnson. I'm not saying he can't be, but actually I am saying he can't be Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is a far better player than Jalen Johnson will ever be, in my opinion.
And I feel like that goes more to the point that you should want to invest more into a guy like Jalen Johnson. Like Dev said, Jalen Johnson has been averaging damn near 7 assists since Trae Young went out with the injury. I see a little bit of the little Cade Cunningham art there, bro. Let's see what we got there. In my opinion, we're going in the direction of tall point guards. Let's see what we got in Jalen Johnson, bro.
You'd be frustrated Steph too much, man. He keeps saying trying to leave, and he's just not.
You guys are hilarious. Yeah. No, that one I definitely can't get with. Jalen Johnson will never be. I don't think he'll ever be the player that Cade Cunningham is. I just not only because of the reps, just because of just ceilings as far as players.
I don't know, bro. I'd invest in Jalen Johnson as our point guard. I think
all you, man. If you want him to go be the Knicks point guard,
yeah,
be my
take
guest,
him as
man.
a Knicks point guard.
Let him be the Knicks point guard.
Whoa. All right. We got RPG.
So much,
we got RPG. Chill.
if you believe in him that much,
yeah. If you believe in him, you should believe in him more than your PG, right?
Nah. We got JB. We good over here. We good.
Oh man, had to mention it, but we're getting to the tail end of things here. I think we'll move off of the active tree discussion for a little bit here. But Jay, I know we were talking before the stream. You wanted to talk about Tyrese Maxey a bit.
Yes.
It's your time. Give Tyrese Maxey a shine.
Tyrese Maxey has quickly, you know what? Since the Knicks series against the Sixers, like I brought up earlier, he's been one of the most electric players in the entire NBA. And last night, he went up for a career high 54 points. Dude was giving them buckets. I absolutely love what Tyrese Maxey had done for the 76ers. Side note, the Sixers, please keep them black jerseys, bro. I love them. Keep the black jerseys. But Tyrese Maxey has been such a breath of fresh air for this Philadelphia 76ers fan base in a time where Joel Embiid can't stay on the court, in a time where Paul George is constantly injured and not really someone you want to rely on. Now we got I don't want to say Tyrese Maxey in the squad, got VJ Edgecombe, got Trent Watford, got Andre Drummond is hooping his ass off too. Quentin Grimes, Jared McKay's coming back. This squad is very good. But the only thing I'm a little worried about, Tyrese Maxey is leading the league in minutes per game. Guys, is that sustainable?
It's Nick Nurse ball, man. That's Nick Nurse ball. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Outside of that, if anyone in the league is going to be able to do it, probably Maxey. Like, even late in the game last night, he was competing defensively with some great energy in minute 39. Like, his energy is absurd. Now, is it sustainable for all 82? That's going to be the question. But I think Maxey's probably one of the guys who's better made for than anyone else in the league, and he's certainly not showing any signs of that being an issue right now.
My bad, Jim.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna say if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be him because he's what? How old is he? Like 23?
25.
Wow, yeah, 25 years old, and we know he's extremely fast, got a lot of stamina. So I think if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be him. I was honestly looking because last time I checked, Luka actually led the league in minutes. But yeah, you're right. Now it is Tyrese, but like if we were to look at those two examples, like, and if you were to ask me, you know, Luka sustainable or Tyrese sustainable, I'd much rather choose, you know, Tyrese in that position.
I know I posed the question.
Hold on, not as a player, just as like more sustainable to keep playing the most minutes in the league. Sure. I would take Luka Doncic as a player over Tyrese every single day of my life.
No, we got you.
Just had to make sure.
No, but that's a good point because one reason I do think, even though I did pose the question, is it sustainable? What impresses me most about Tyrese Maxey is that he's not the type of player that dribbles the ball dribbles the air out of the ball. His shit is on, like, he get his shit on the go off the catch. Like, it's so impressive the way he's able to score and the pace he does it at, then the speed he does it at. It's always full forward. Like, in transition, like he's such an impressive player and one of the more unique players in the NBA. And I just love the way that he's able to score because it's different from a lot of guys in the league.
Honestly, when he gets off the ball, it kind of resembles Curry, bro. To be honest, he does
100%.
not stop moving. Like he gets off that rock, and I feel like it's natural tendency to kind of like stiffen up when like the player you're guarding gets off the rock, and he immediately boom, and he's flying and he's hella fast. So yeah, no, I love that point you made, Jay. He gets a lot of off the ball, just easy looks. And the crazy thing is, like, for in a night like, granted, I didn't see the 54 points that he had last night, but a night like that, I guarantee if I go back and watch the game, I'm gonna see he got so many easy buckets off just like just cutting at the right time, being at the right place, right time. Like I guarantee not all those buckets were like earned. And it wasn't like, you know, him breaking somebody down, walking somebody down. I guarantee he did that in the game, but a lot of them. And as a player, like if you can get every game 10 to 7 points like that, it's a game changer.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. He's always moving, but he has no wasted movement. It's just on ball, off ball. He's always quick to it, even when he's on ball. It's just he's in his action. He's going to work. It's never just hanging out. It's impressive to watch, man. He's having a hell of a year.
The sand dunes, true. The sand dunes, they'll get your speed right. The sand dunes.
All right, guys. I have a stat that is pretty impressive, and I want you guys to guess what team in the NBA has the longest streak of scoring 110 points since the 1970s.
Oh,
like every game?
Every game.
Damn.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be recent.
46 consecutive games to be exact. The longest streak since the 1970s of scoring 110 points. What team is that?
Scoring 110. Man. That is tough. I think it's got to be a high-paced team, but
I'm gonna go with Nah.
Is this somehow Portland?
Nope.
No. Just thinking of high-paced teams. Consistently do that.
I'm gonna go OKC.
Nope, not OKC.
Nah, it's too obvious. This has got to be something funky.
Definitely funky. Real stinky.
Consistently
The
100.
Kings.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Not Lakers. Not Lakers.
Well,
Trill.
I knew it was the Lakers. I know the other day we just scored like 50, 94 or something like that. Let me see.
never having off nights.
Like in the last, you said 46 games scored in more than 110.
110 point. Longest consecutive streak since the 1970s.
The Rockets?
Nope. Hey, let me know if y'all want a hint.
Yeah.
Want a hint?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
It is one of our members of KOT is a fan of the team.
The Bulls.
Yep. It is the Bulls. It is the Chicago Bulls.
Crazy.
It is the Chicago
crazy.
Bulls on a 46 consecutive game streak
Wow.
of scoring 110 points. That's crazy.
Wow.
Man,
It's crazy.
I am a avid Billy Donovan hater, but I can't hate on that stat, bro. I can't hate on that stat, bro. That's impressive.
I'm an
dog.
avid. I thought he was gonna say I'm an avid Billy Donovan fan. He said I'm an avid Billy Donovan hater.
Nah, he made us lose that 3-1 series on the 2016 Warriors, bro. I hate you, Billy Donovan. I hate you, dog. Nah, but yeah, Chicago
That
Bulls,
is wicked, man. That is wicked. That's fair play. Shout out the Bulls, I guess. I was not expecting that to be the Bulls.
Yeah, bro.
He said they don't defend teams and teams don't defend them. Very nice.
Very nice indeed. That is pretty suited. Well, we're getting to the tail end here. I want to ask you guys both a question before we finish out. I know we haven't had a ton of Knicks or Lakers talk before we've gotten to this point, but we can start with you, John. How you feeling about your Lakers so far this year?
Man, look, I'll be honest. I feel like one thing I pride myself on my as a Lakers fan, and if you go check out my Lakers corner page, is I'm very not biased. Like I keep it real, right? Like when we suck, I keep it real. When we're great, I keep it real. When I see talent in someone, I'm gonna keep it real. When I see you slacking, I'm gonna let it be known. And one thing that I said coming into the season is, look, I think at best we can finish as the 4th seed. Like if everything goes right, we finish as the 4th seed. At worst, I think we finish as the 6th seed. And as of I know we're only like less than like 20-ish games to the season, but as of today, we're sitting at the 4th seed at 11-4. So me personally, I'm not surprised at all by what I'm seeing. I'm not surprised at all by what I'm seeing. I'm happy to see we're able to stay healthy. Now, the one only bone I got to pick, well, not even bone, but just thing I got to talk with the world, man. Can y'all believe that there were some people out there that really believed that LeBron James was gonna ruin this team, right? Or was gonna mess the team up? Bruh,
I'm guilty.
look, Jay, how in the world, bro? How in the world? Listen, this is LeBron James. Even if you hate the man, he's the top 3 player of all time. Like even if you absolutely hate him and you're like, I got everything I hate against this guy, he's a top 3 player of all time still. Him just being out there has so much gravity that other teams have to pay so much respect that exactly what we saw in his return happens. He had 12 assists and our bench had 40 points. Our bench has never had that productive of a game all season long. And I guarantee it's because of the open looks they were getting because defense is loading up so much on LeBron. As a matter of fact, I'm making a video on my Lakers corner page. I'm going to try to drop that tomorrow, just depending on how my life goes. I'm see if I can edit this thing tonight, right? I got to see. But I'm going to try to drop it tomorrow. And it's essentially me just talking about LeBron's return. And it's like how so many people were just so quick to forget. Like they were like, oh no, he's going to ruin it. He's not going to ruin anything, guys. And another take, I think I even said this the first stream that I was on here. I don't know how everybody feels about this, but me personally, I know that LeBron James, he got it figured out. Like he knows what to do. Me personally, I would be perfectly fine if LeBron James sat the first like 50 games of the season. I would rather get him doing in the tail end of the season. Now, I'm not saying LeBron's going to be at home eating chips, playing Madden. He's going to still be with the team building that continuity, but he's not going to be playing in every single game because look, on a random, the Thursday afternoon in November or December, we don't need LeBron to get a win. Luka and AR alone is enough to get wins, to remain in the top 6 seed, in my opinion. But granted, LeBron James, he knows what he needs to do. So start working him up towards the end of the season, and then by the time playoffs come around, LeBron James has had his best chance at being healthy. Because honestly, my biggest thing is this: look, man, he's about to be 41. He can do everything to stay healthy. He can be eating all the kale, all the green foods, be doing everything right, and just take one bad fall and just that's it. Because he's 41. His body just reacts differently. So that's why I say we don't need you to play in the regular season right now. We don't need you to in the regular season for us to win. We can win without you right now. We want you to be around the team. We want you to build continuity. But essentially where we really need you is when you know how to ramp it up most, which is towards the end of the season. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And that's the only thing on Spiel, to be honest with you. So I spiel on the Lakers.
I think the Lakers are good because Jake LaRavia is better than the MVP. So they're good. I think they're good.
Oh shit.
No, see, that's the thing though. That's the thing, Trill. I'm not saying he's gonna be at home not doing anything. Like he'll still be in practice, he'll still be in and around the team, he'll still be getting up shots. He's not just gonna be sitting still for this whole time. But I just don't think you need him to beat, like, for example, we played the Jazz again here on Sunday. I don't think we need him to beat the Jazz, right? I think we want to win without. And all we want to focus on with the 41-year-old is getting through the regular season and having him be healthy. Every
most
player,
important, man. Whatever he's got to do, go ahead there, John.
No. I was honestly just reading what he's saying. Every player gets hurt. Needs to play this 25 games. But the thing, I'm not saying he's not going to be doing anything. He's not going to get super stiff. Utah's a trap game, always is. Yeah, but those live reps still important. We saw him get hurt. Absolutely, those live reps are important, which he'll still be getting. He'll still be in practice. And yes, nothing replicates being in the game. 100% agree. But I think we all know that LeBron knows what it's like to be in a game. I mean, the man's been in the league for longer than a lot of people has been alive. So he knows what those reps are. And I just don't think we need to waste those reps in a November game, especially when we got Luka, the truth, and who we're literally going to build our team around. So that's just what I think. But just like I said on the first show, who am I? I'm just a guy with an opinion that watches a lot of Lakers.
Either way, LeBron definitely, kind of shut up a few people in that first game back, and they certainly had a nice game to show for it. Jay, to close us out, how are we feeling about the Knicks so far as we're now about a month into the year?
All right. The Knicks so far it's been a love-hate relationship. I'm not going to lie. Love the offense, hate the defense. Mike Brown and Landry Shamet, I am absolutely in love with you two. Thank you. Landry Shamet is the modern day JJ Redick. I think at the first stream, I was trying to sell Landry Shamet to you guys. They trade him up. Hey, untouchable. He's untouchable now. Landry Shamet is one of the guys, man. The one thing I'm very worried about though is the defense for real, is because it's like a walkway getting into the paint. It's very easy, especially when Mitchell Robinson isn't out there. And the big thing that's happening is that we're not playing Yabusele. And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure if Yabusele's a good player, bro. He looks really big out there and not the fastest, and he's not ideal for Mike Brown's play style. Jalen Brunson just came back, and I think he came back a lot sooner than a lot of people expected, especially with dealing with the ankle injury. We know he's dealt with ankle injuries in the past. Mikal Bridges is absolutely thriving under Mike Brown's system. I was someone that was saying that Josh Hart was going to be traded this year, but he's starting to hit his shots, and I'm reminded that he is so incredibly impactful in doing the intangibles. It's the the offensive rebound. It's the diving for loose balls on defense. It's like the little thing that Josh Hart does is what makes him so valuable on this team. But with that being said, I still have faith that the Knicks are going to be the team to make it out the playoffs. But there's small things that we need to adjust if we really want to be taken serious as a championship contender.
Is this the guy that French guy that dunked on Braun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, that one play and that one game is what really got bro like to the league. It built his hype, and then everybody started looking and be like, oh, he low-key been hooping.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what he does good on the floor, bro. I'm be honest, I don't know. I don't know what he does good out there, bro.
He has not looked good to me at all this year, and that's how I felt. I'm glad to hear someone else feels the same way. 'Cause I didn't mind him last year in Philly.
Yeah.
It's not looked good at all with the Knicks so far this year.
Mm-mm. Not at all, bro. And yo, Steph, I'm starting to understand what you mean about Mitchell Robinson on the offensive end. He is not worth a damn, bro. Oh, yo, his free throw form is so awful. It's like his free throw form is meant to clank off the back of the rim every time. It's meant for that, bro. It's not meant to go in.
Yeah, it's been ugly at times, man. But we're still early, like you say. We're only about a month in. We still got a lot of ball left to play. A lot of things for the Knicks, the Lakers, and hopefully my Raptors to continue to figure out and continue to put some wins out on the court. But I think we're going to call it here. We're about time, so we'll wrap it up for the evening. But thank you to everyone who tuned in again on this lovely Friday evening. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and showing your support. If you did enjoy and you have not yet up to this point, please be sure you leave a like down below and do hit that subscribe button. We'll, of course, be back on Tuesday evening, same time at 7 p.m. Eastern. Until then, hope you guys have a good weekend. Have a great time watching the Houston-Denver game tonight, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Peace.
Peace.